Good morning. It's a lovely windy day here in Sharjah. I'm up on my roof. I'm wondering if I'm going to blow off. I don't mean as in blow off, I mean as in blow off the roof, not, you know. I had cabbages yesterday and broccoli, but that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. I want to share with you an amazing question that 99% of people get wrong. I'm not just talking about normal people. I'm talking about people who work in business. I'm talking about people who are the smartest minds in almost every single company that I work with. And the reason that they get it wrong is because the system is set up to make it so they get it wrong. Let me explain a little bit more about it. There's my doggy in the background. There's Ash. Hi, Ash. Coming over to say hi. There you go, babe. There you go. And she knows the answer as well. The answer is don't go on the roof with daddy. Right, so when you go to school, you get taught to work really hard. And you get lots of grief if you don't do it properly. True? At the same time, when you're at school, they teach you all about maths and English and everything else. And if you're smart, they put you in a top class. And if you're not as smart, they ignore you and put you in thickie class or on the thicky end of stuff. Sit. Sit, Ash. There you go. So you sit in give me a paw. Thank you for the paw, baby. They just put you in a lesser smart class. As a direct result of that, you end up being taught less. And you find it even harder to get to the higher levels. Meanwhile, the elitists, all the guys who get it all right all the time, guess what happens to them? They go up and up and up until one day they're running a big company and you see them on Facebook or on LinkedIn and you go, wow, they're the ones to watch. But all the way through you're thinking, why is it that I didn't get their opportunities? Why is it that they didn't choose me or they gave me some really crappy things to work on? Now I'm doing really well in what I do, but I didn't actually get to do that at school. I'm doing a completely different thing. Like I might be a chef, or I might be a dressmaker, or I might be an artist, or even more, working in social media and working in some kind of industry that didn't exist when you were at school. And so there's no way you could have studied for it at all. Now that's the case for many, many people, and that's growing all the time. So what is the big question? Here it is. And this is what school gets wrong, this is what most of work gets wrong, and I'm hoping that the wind doesn't knock over the camera, because that'd be really embarrassing if it does happen. Have a look. I'm going to write it up here. Ash, move. My dog keeps trying to lick me. Right. Should you concentrate to make success in your life on one of the following things? I'll put this right straight on so you can see exactly what it is that I'm writing. Okay? Here's your question. I'd love you to answer and give your comments on the comments section of Facebook. Should you concentrate on your strengths and only your strengths in life, in business, to be successful in your career? Or should you concentrate on your weaknesses? There we go. Big question mark. To be successful in your life, should you concentrate on your strengths? I'll move this along. Your strengths and only your strengths, or should you concentrate on the weaknesses? Now, I ask this question to every single organization that I do training with. I've got a company coming up this weekend, I've got another company next week, I've got a week after that, I've got another company. Even during Ramadan, I'm really busy showing these tricks to people. Now, most people, 99% of people, and I ask them to put their hands in the air, who thinks you should concentrate to have a successful life, successful business, who thinks you should concentrate on your strengths? I guarantee out of 100 people, 1 to 3 people will put their hands up. That's it. When I turn around and say, right, how many people believe you should concentrate on your weaknesses? About 60% usually put their hands up on the weaknesses. And then I say, right, who believes you should do a combination of strengths and weaknesses? And whoever's left puts their hands up. And the thing is, those last two categories, weaknesses and strengths and weaknesses, are absolutely 100% wrong. Why is that? At school, you had to work on all the stuff. You got 3 out of 10, and they taught you to get 10 out of 10 because they gave you all the answers. Well, here's the deal. If you're rubbish at something, it's because it's not a natural talent for you. It's not your strength. Now, if you look at people who have a natural strength at something that you're weak at, if you work really hard and train on their weaknesses, guess what you'll be at the end of that? Average. And really upset that you spent so much time working on it to only be okay at doing it. This is true, because you've done it before. So you work really hard on your weaknesses and you become average at doing it. But meanwhile, because it's a natural strength for them, they become even better at it and better than you. Now, there's a feedback loop involved in this. If you are good at something and you work really hard on it, you get better at doing it. True? because you get more practice. Now, the more practice you have, the more exceptional you become. The more exceptional you become, the more you stand out. The more you stand out, people will gravitate to you to do that job. So the more you do that, the better you become, the more you get recognized. Of course, people will pay you to be the best at what you do, because there's no point paying somebody who's not as good as you. So the more you do it, the more the loop takes you bigger and better at your strengths. Now, if you work on your weaknesses, the best that's going to happen is you'll be peed off because you worked as hard as everybody else, even harder maybe, and didn't stand out from the crowd. But the education system teaches you to be average, to get an average job, to get an average opportunity the same as everybody else. It doesn't notice the things that make you much better than anybody else, because they are natural strengths. So you're going to say, okay, Dave, well, how does that work? If you're rubbish at something, you've got to have a balance. No, you don't. You've got to have a balance in your team. For me, paperwork is rubbish. I get bored doing it. I don't like crossing the T's and dotting the I's. So I get an accountant, or I work with somebody who fills in all the sales forms after I go out and do business. They love doing that. I don't love doing all the paperwork, so I don't bother doing it. I pay somebody else, because my time is better spent doing what I excel at, which is doing public speaking, training, motivating, hosting events. That's what I get the big bucks for, not for filling in paperwork or doing plumbing or doing other jobs that I can't do very well, but other people do naturally. It's worth paying the money for them to do it. So at the end of the day, when you want to find more success and happiness in your life, concentrate on this. Concentrate on getting your strengths right. The less time you spend doing the stuff that you don't like is a really good reason for you to not do it, because you'll be happier on a daily basis by concentrating on only your strengths. Now, most people get this wrong. That's why most people go to a job they don't particularly enjoy, and they're okay at doing it, but they don't love it, and they're always upset that they never get the promotion that they should do. With Google now, you can find somebody for any job. You want to find somebody who's an expert in origami, in your field, or in your street, or wherever it is you live. Don't live in a field. Well, if you do, and you're a scarecrow, then use Google. I don't know where you're going to plug in your laptop, but there you go. Somebody somewhere is an expert at something, so you can be found on Google. So find out what you're expert at. Find out what it is that you love doing, and also what people are willing to pay for. That's kind of important as well. Work on your strengths and not your weaknesses. I'm going to take it easy, be good to yourself, and I hope you have some useful stuff out of this. Also, let me know how you think, how you feel. Ask me questions. Anything you want me to work on for tomorrow, let me know. Meanwhile, have a wonderful day and be good to yourself. Gonna go now? Ash, gonna go? There you go. Good doggy. Hello. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.